Welcome to SoulScripture. Chosen one. You did not arrive here by chance. There's a tremor moving through the spiritual realm, a sense of urgency, like a drumbeat echoing just beneath the surface of your awareness. You feel it, don't you? That rising energy, that subtle vibration, that holy discontent, whispering, "It's time." The world around you has sensed it too, though most cannot name it. They watch you with uneasy curiosity, some with silent dread, because they sense on a level deeper than words that your awakening is the catalyst for change. They are not ready to face. They are not afraid of you for what you were. They are afraid of what you are about to become. The moment you cross that invisible threshold from potential to action, from dreaming to commanding reality, you shift the entire atmosphere. Your very presence threatens the stability of the old order. Not because you are reckless, but because you are a divine disruptor. You embody the prophecy that says, "The last shall be first, and the first last." This is not just a biblical verse, it's the template encoded in your very spirit. Let me speak plainly. The energy around you is at a critical tipping point. Those who underestimated you, those who doubted you, those who were comfortable with the old, smaller version of you, they are unsettled. They sense the approaching storm, a wave of transformation carrying your name. This is your awakening call. This is why the universe orchestrated for you to find these words right now. You cannot afford to sleepwalk through this season. The clock is ticking. The veil is thinning. And the gates of destiny are opening right in front of you. If you feel resistance, if you notice people acting strangely or pulling away, understand this. Their fear is not your problem to solve. Their fear is evidence that you have shifted. Remember the story of Moses standing before Pharaoh not as a mere man, but as the voice of divine authority. Pharaoh was terrified, not because Moses was loud or aggressive, but because he carried a mandate from above. Like Moses, your role is not to comfort those clinging to the past, but to step forward and release the power within you. You are the thunder after the lightning, the visible sign that a higher force is at work. Here's the truth. What they fear most is your reaction. They are anxious not because you are unpredictable, but because you are finally becoming undeniable. They know on some primal, spiritual level that once you decide to rise, nothing and no one can hold you back. Your breakthrough is not a possibility, it is an inevitability. Every day you hesitate, you grant them another moment of comfort. Every day you delay, you keep your light under a bushel. But the moment you decide, the moment you step across that line, there is no returning to who you once were. The shift will be permanent. The air itself will seem charged. And those who once overlooked you will watch with wide, unblinking eyes. The world is holding its breath. Chosen one. This is the day your story changes. The only question that remains is, are you ready to step into the power you were born to claim? The answer, deep in your spirit, is already yes. Let's move forward now. Every chosen one reaches a crossroads where the fear of others becomes fuel for their ascension. As your presence intensifies and your energy shifts, you'll notice an invisible current running through your world. People grow anxious. Old relationships feel strained. And even those who once cheered you on now shrink back. Unable to explain the discomfort you ignite in them. Their fear is not a curse, it's your compass. It's the universe's way of whispering, you are exactly where you need to be. The truth is, the world's nervousness about your next move is a secret confirmation that you are breaking free from the gravity of mediocrity. This tension is not new. Throughout history, the arrival of a true leader, a light bearer, always sends ripples through the collective consciousness. Think of David before Goliath. The army trembled, not because David was threatening, but because his faith exposed their complacency. In the same way, your willingness to embrace your destiny shines a bright light on the places others have been too afraid to grow. Let their discomfort remind you, you are not here to keep everyone comfortable. You are here to shift the atmosphere, to call forth what is divine and dormant in yourself, and to set a new standard of possibility. It's critical, chosen one, that you don't internalize their anxiety. Their projections are not your burden, their fear is not your limit. Instead, let it become the flame that ignites your purpose. Every raised eyebrow, every side comment, every subtle withdrawal is proof that your frequency has changed. They sense that you are no longer content to play it safe, no longer willing to shrink yourself to fit the mold they've built for you. What you are experiencing is spiritual confirmation. You are ascending, and the higher you rise, the more obvious your uniqueness becomes. Pause for a moment and think, when have you felt that surge of discomfort from others? Was it after you spoke your truth? After you finally set a boundary? After you decided to follow the whisper of your spirit rather than the noise of the crowd? Each of those moments is a milestone, a marker on your journey toward mastery. Do not resent the resistance, embrace it. Imagine the blacksmith forging a blade. It is the heat and the hammering that give the sword its strength. Their fear is the fire, and your reaction is the steel being shaped. Here is where the transformative power lies. Instead of withdrawing, when you sense fear, step forward. Let their resistance become your momentum. Let their doubt become your declaration. Remind yourself, just as Esther stood before the king, risking everything to fulfill her calling, you too have come to your position for such a time as this. You are not here to make peace with smallness. You are here to become the answer, the solution, the light that exposes and heals. Use their fear as your fuel. Every ounce of it pushes you closer to the purpose you were born to fulfill. This is the hour of transformation. The universe is not asking for your permission. It is giving you a charge. The energy of the world is shifting because you are finally stepping into your power. So let them fear. Let them watch. Let their anxiety mark the turning of your tide. Your breakthrough is the prophecy they never saw coming. You were never ordinary, not for a single moment, since the day you took your first breath. Every trial, every lonely night, every inexplicable longing in your soul has been the secret evidence of your royalty. The world has always tried to dress you in labels that didn't fit outsider. Too intense, too sensitive, too much. But what they failed to see is that the universe itself was setting you apart, grooming you not just to survive, but to lead, to awaken, and to reign. You carry the imprint of a higher lineage. Chosen one. Think of Joseph, the dreamer sold into slavery, betrayed by his own blood because his vision was too big for small minds. For years, Joseph endured exile and misunderstanding. But beneath the pain, a royal destiny was being forged in the shadows. At the appointed time, he was elevated overnight. It seemed to a place of unimaginable authority and influence. Like Joseph, your story is not defined by the pit, but by the promise. Your setbacks have been the proving ground for your soul's authority. This is the crossroads of your mythic journey. The call you feel now, the trembling in your spirit. The urgency pressing against your ribs, not an accident. It's the divine signal that the story is shifting from survival to significance. Your intuition knows it, even when your mind tries to dismiss it. The trials that nearly broke you were not evidence of rejection, but of rare preparation. The world is filled with those content to blend in, but you're restless, questioning, endlessly, seeking have always been different. That difference is your inheritance. Look back for a moment and notice the pattern. The times you felt alone, those were seasons of sacred incubation, where wisdom and resilience were woven into your spirit. The relationships that fell away, they made space for connections aligned with your higher calling. Even your failures have been chapters in a story written by a master author, where nothing is wasted and every pain carries the seeds of purpose. Understand this. Chosen one, being born into spiritual royalty means you were never meant for a life of quiet desperation. The throne that waits for you is not just a metaphor, but a spiritual reality, an inner seat of power and clarity. Your journey up until now has been the gathering of keys, the acquisition of sacred tools, the learning of lessons that no one can take from you. You are not just preparing to inherit, you are preparing to transform. This world, desperately in need of true leadership and courage, has been waiting for the unique frequency only you can bring. There is no more time to question whether you are worthy. The crown fits because you were fashioned for it. The stories of old Esther, Moses, Joseph were not written to make you marvel at others' greatness, but to remind you of what slumbers inside your own soul. Your lineage is spiritual, unbroken, and eternal. The blood of visionaries, prophets, and kings flows in your veins not because of human ancestry, but because the divine breathed life into you and set you apart. Now, as you stand at the threshold, realize this is the moment all those silent battles have prepared you for. You are not here by accident. You are royalty in disguise about to be revealed. Step boldly. Chosen one, because you were born for this awakening. The world feels different because you are different. There's a distinct spiritual shift happening inside you. Right now, an awakening, so intense, it's impossible to ignore. It's not just hope or desire. It's a deep inner knowing that your time has arrived. This isn't about wishful thinking or blind optimism. It's a supernatural alignment, a divine force pulsing in your chest, calling every cell in your body to rise and answer. The energy you carry is no longer content to stay dormant. You feel it in the way your intuition has sharpened, in the way your dreams have become more vivid, in how your sensitivity to people and environments has intensified. You may notice you're drawn to new places, new voices, and sacred synchronicities, chance, encounters, repeating numbers, messages that seem to find you right when you need them. The universe is orchestrating a symphony of signs, and each one is a reminder. The time to claim your power is now. But stepping into unstoppable power isn't just a one-time act, it's a process, a daily decision. Consider the story of David, who was anointed long before he ever set foot in the palace. He had to walk through fields, face giants, and survive betrayal before his authority was fully recognized. Like David, your anointing doesn't always come with immediate recognition, but the shift begins within. Authority is an inside job before it becomes an outside reality. Right now, the old wounds and doubts are surfacing, not to hold you back, but to be burned away in the fire of your new frequency. That anxiety, it's the old self dying. That fear, it's the last resistance before breakthrough. You are not being punished. You are being refined. Just as gold is purified by fire, your spirit is being purified for the mission ahead. Every tear, every setback, every ache has been fuel for this transformation. You might feel the pressure to hold back, to stay small, to wait until you know enough or feel ready. But your spirit already knows what your mind is still learning. Readiness is not a feeling. It's a posture. The universe responds to faith in motion. Each step you take, no matter how uncertain, activates more doors, more opportunities, more power. What if you stopped waiting for all the answers and started acting from the authority that's already inside you? Imagine a phoenix, chosen one. It rises, not because it waits for the flames to subside, but because it accepts the fire as the birthplace of its next life. Your unstoppable power is not somewhere outside of you. It's unleashed when you say yes to your calling. Yes to the unknown. Yes to your divine assignment. This is the shift the world can feel, but cannot name the moment a soul goes from surviving to commanding reality. It's the moment your energy speaks louder than words. When your very presence becomes a force for healing, awakening, and revolution. Let this be your declaration. I accept my power. I step into my destiny. I command my energy to align with the highest purpose. Repeat it until every cell vibrates with this new reality. Remember, unstoppable power is not about never being afraid. It's about never letting fear decide your future. Right now, the universe is conspiring for your breakthrough. You can feel it. Don't run from the shift, run toward it. This is the spiritual surge you've waited for. Step in boldly and let the transformation become unstoppable. The world is watching you. Chosen one. Whether you realize it or not, I seen and unseen are observing how you respond to this defining moment. There's a tension in the air, an electric anticipation that cannot be denied. You can almost feel it in the glances people give you, in the unexpected questions they ask, or even in the silence that falls when you enter a room. It's as if the universe itself is holding its breath, waiting to see how you'll answer the call that's been echoing through your spirit. This is not the time for half measures or playing small. When a king or queen enters the throne room, they don't walk timidly. They command attention with every step. That is your calling right now. You are being summoned to step forward, not as a mere participant in your own life, but as a leader, someone who sets the tone, raises the standard, and embodies the courage others desperately need to see. The world doesn't just need your presence, it needs your example, your resilience, your unwavering belief in the mission pulsing through your soul. You might be tempted to downplay your authority, to wait for permission, to keep the peace by staying silent. But history has never been changed by those who stayed quiet in the face of destiny. Think of Queen Esther. She risked everything by speaking up for her people, not knowing if the king would accept her. Yet, because she answered her call with courage, an entire nation was saved. Like Esther, your boldness can create a ripple effect far beyond what you can see. At this very moment, there are people, some close, some distant, whose lives are impacted by your decisions. Some may envy you, others may oppose you, but many are simply looking for proof that it's possible to rise above limitation. Your rise is not just about you, it's a demonstration of what's possible for the entire remnant who watch in hope. You are a living testimony that new chapters can be written, old stories can be redeemed, and that divine destiny is real. Every time you show up authentically speaking your truth, walking in purpose, refusing to shrink you, create permission for others to do the same. Your courage breaks invisible chains for people you may never meet. This is why your response right now carries more weight than you realize. You are setting a spiritual precedent. The energy you exude, the choices you make, the dignity with which you carry yourself, all of it is being etched into the collective consciousness. But let's be clear, not everyone will celebrate your ascension. There will be those who whisper, who doubt, who hope you'll return to normal. Their discomfort is not your concern. Their confusion is not your assignment. The only responsibility you carry is to answer with the authority, grace, and confidence that flows from knowing you are divinely positioned. So, as the world waits and watches, stand tall, move with intention. Let your every step declare, I am royalty, I am ready, I am the answer. Step into the fullness of your calling, not just for your own breakthrough, but for the awakening of all those destined to follow after you. When you answer like royalty, the world will never be the same. There's a hidden code to true leadership, chosen one, and it goes far beyond titles or applause. It's about commanding presence, the kind that speaks before you open your mouth. The energy that shifts a room and causes others to stand taller simply because you've entered. This is what it means to command destiny, to recognize that your mere existence, aligned with purpose, is enough to bend reality in your favor. And this is not ego, it's sacred responsibility. Look through history and scripture, and you'll see the pattern. Those called to greatness rarely arrived by accident. Moses was a fugitive, yet he led nations. Deborah sat under a palm tree and judged wisely. But when war called, she arose and became a general. Her presence alone brought courage to warriors. Even Christ, ridiculed and underestimated in Nazareth, grew in favor and stature until his energy transformed the world. The thread is always the same. A chosen soul, armed with inner certainty, becomes an agent of divine change, even in the face of opposition. What does this mean for you? Here and now, your authority must come from the inside out. You do not need validation from others to take your place. Respect is not begged for. It is commanded by the way you move, the way you hold your boundaries, and the unwavering clarity of your vision, even in silence. Your aura does the talking. Magnetic presence is not about dominating, it's about radiating such authenticity and conviction that people can't help but take notice. There will be tests. People will try to diminish your light, question your motives, or label your confidence as arrogance. Some will attempt to distract you with drama, while others will quietly compete with your energy. Let them. Their reactions are mirrors, revealing their own limitations. Your only job is to remain steadfast in your calling, to show up with integrity, and to lead by the force of your example. Leadership is less about what you say and more about how you walk the calm assurance in a storm. The unwavering peace in chaos. The bold vision when others can only see obstacles. If you want to know how to command destiny, start with your thoughts. See yourself as the leader you were created to be. Speak with conviction. Act with wisdom. Move with a sense of divine timing. The universe aligns with the soul that is determined, focused, and ready. Destiny bows to those who carry themselves like royalty, who understand that authority is not assigned by men, but by the higher hand that writes every story. It's time to walk into rooms with your head held high, to own your narrative, to show the world the power of a spirit aligned with its mission. Your legacy is not built in moments of comfort, but forged in the fire of adversity. Remember Daniel in the lion's den. His presence, his unshakable confidence, silenced every threat and altered the very laws of the kingdom. You are not here just to be seen. You are here to be felt. Let your magnetic presence speak louder than words. Command respect. Command opportunity. Command the atmosphere everywhere you go. You are not waiting for destiny to call your name. You are destiny in motion. It's inevitable. Chosen one, the world will try to shrink you with doubt and dismissal. This is not a sign you're failing, but proof that you are walking the path reserved only for the rare and the called. Every story of transformation, every account of breakthrough, is punctuated by the voices of those who said, "It can't be done," or, "Who are you to think you're different?" Their skepticism, whether spoken or silent, is the crucible in which the chosen are refined. You may already be feeling this. People you once trusted hesitate when you speak about your vision. Some avoid your eyes, while others try to minimize your achievements or question your motives. They say you've changed, as if staying small was ever your birthright. You might find yourself standing alone more often, misunderstood or quietly resented for stepping outside the lines they drew for you. But here's the secret. Their doubt is your divine fuel. There is a biblical pattern at work. Remember David facing Goliath, surrounded by naysayers who saw only his youth and inexperience. Yet, David's courage grew stronger with every word of doubt hurled his way. The doubters don't see the anointing, only the armor they think you lack. But what they miss is the presence of the divine, the hidden favor that moves with you, speaks through you, and fortifies you when logic says you should fall. This is a holy tension, a spiritual paradox. The more they question you, the deeper your roots grow. The world's dismissal is like wind against the tree. It does not uproot you, but makes you stronger, more resilient, more determined to bear fruit that cannot be ignored. Let every doubt, every whisper, every attempt to diminish you become a stepping stone. Turn their disbelief into your discipline, their suspicion into your superpower. Sometimes, the ones who doubt you most are the very ones who need your breakthrough as a blueprint for their own. They are waiting, even unconsciously, for you to prove that it's possible to break out, to rise above, to become more than what's expected. This is not the time to seek validation from them. This is the time to anchor yourself in the affirmation that comes from within, from the divine source, and from every promise that was whispered over your life when no one else was listening. Here is your affirmation. I rise, not in spite of doubt, but because of it. I turn every dismissal into a declaration that I am chosen, appointed, and unstoppable. Let these words settle into your spirit and drive you forward with fresh conviction. Every test you endure, every opposition you face, is proof that you are on the edge of something monumental. The enemy does not waste time on those who pose no threat. If you feel pressure, it is because your life is pressing into purpose. Remember, you are not here to convince the world. You are here to awaken it by living so boldly, so authentically, that even the greatest doubters are compelled to reconsider what's possible. Your journey is the evidence. Your courage is the prophecy fulfilled. Let their doubt be your divine signal. Your time has come. There are seasons when time feels slippery, when hours and days accelerate, and reality seems to rearrange itself around you. This is one of those seasons. Chosen one. Divine timing is in full effect. The signs and synchronicities are everywhere if you're willing to see them. That repeated number, that unexpected message, that opportunity falling into your lap, these are not coincidences. They're supernatural breadcrumbs, guiding you toward your appointed destiny. But here's what most miss. Synchronicity is an invitation, not a guarantee. The universe opens doors, but only you can walk through them. Readiness isn't about waiting for perfection. It's about trusting the nudge and moving in faith, even when the next step isn't fully revealed. Now is not the time for hesitation. The urgency in your spirit is the alarm bell of destiny, reminding you that windows of opportunity open and close with breathtaking speed. Look to the stories of old. Noah was instructed to build the ark before a single drop of rain fell. He didn't wait for the sky to turn dark. He acted the moment he was called, preparing for what others couldn't see. His obedience saved generations. Likewise, you are being prompted to prepare, to get your house in order, to clear distractions, to sharpen your focus. Divine synchronicity and destiny's urgency are pressing on you for a reason. Sometimes the greatest miracles are missed because people hesitate, overthinking, doubting, making endless plans while the moment slips by. This is the enemy's greatest weapon against the chosen, the lie that you have endless time, that tomorrow will serve just as well as today. But your spirit knows better. There's a sacred pulse in the Ira signal that what you've prayed for is within reach, but only if you step forward now. Every action you take in faith, no matter how small, sets off a chain reaction. When you respond to synchronicity with action, you signal to the universe, I am ready. The result? Acceleration. Doors open. Resources appear. Allies are drawn to you. It's not magic. It's spiritual law. You become a magnet for miracles, not by waiting passively, but by living in constant expectation, ready to move. The instant destiny calls your name. So ask yourself, what is the step I'm resisting? Where have I ignored the signs? Convinced myself I'm not ready, or told myself to wait for some perfect future. Realign. Your mindset. Readiness is a choice, not a circumstance. The urgency you feel is holy. It is the voice of your higher self urging you not to let this moment pass. If you need affirmation, hear this. I am divinely guided. I move in sync with the universe. I act with urgency and faith, knowing that my preparation meets opportunity now. This is the secret to living a life of synchronicity, of perpetual blessing and breakthrough. Your readiness is the key that unlocks the supernatural. Act today. Prepare today. The season for waiting is over, and the time for miraculous results is at hand. Let divine timing and urgency be your wings. The power that lives within you is not a whisper, it is a roar waiting to be unleashed. Deep inside, beneath the layers of fear, self-doubt, and the old stories that others have written for you, lies an unstoppable force, crafted by the divine for such a time as this. You have glimpsed it in your most courageous moments, in the times you spoke truth when it cost you, in the choices you made that defied expectation, in the quiet, knowing that you are meant for more. But now, chosen one, it's time to move from glimpsing to embodying, from hidden potential to living miracle. This is not about waiting for another sign or someone else's approval. This is about you standing up, looking in the mirror, and finally recognizing the miracle you are. The world may try to convince you that power comes from outside, from achievement, status, or the validation of others. But true power comes from alignment when your spirit, mind, and actions move as one, rooted in divine intention. To unleash this force, you must first claim your worth. Every trial, every heartache, every no you've ever received has been a test proof that you were being prepared, not punished. You are not here by accident. You are the result of 1,000 generations of dreams and prayers. Imagine the stories of those before you, like Elijah, who called down fire from heaven, not because he was the strongest, but because he dared to believe the impossible was his birthright. The world is aching for people who will live as evidence of what happens when divine favor meets unshakable conviction. This is your permission slip to break out of old cycles, to shake off the labels of too much, not enough, not ready. Your hidden force is meant to be seen, felt, and witnessed. When you unleash it, you become a walking miracle, someone whose very existence shatters the limits that once confined you and inspires others to do the same. Begin today with intention. Speak out loud. I am a living miracle. I am aligned with divine energy. I radiate strength, faith, and unstoppable courage. Let these words rewire the pathways of your mind and reshape your reality. Stand in front of the world, flaws and all, and declare yourself ready, not perfect, but present and fiercely committed to the mission. As you step into this power, you'll find that resistance transforms into wind at your back. Doors open with ease. Relationships that stifled you dissolve, replaced by connections that honor your frequency. You'll find yourself moving in rhythms of grace, guided by intuition that grows sharper every day. This is what it means to live as a miracle, where your life becomes the evidence of things unseen, the answer to prayers whispered in the dark. Do not underestimate what your awakening will unlock in others. Your courage, your transformation, your miracles will set a new standard for what is possible. The world is hungry for proof that hope is not naive, that faith is not foolish, and that divine power is real. Be that proof. Live so boldly that others have no choice but to believe in miracles again, starting with you. Chosen one. The shift has already begun within you, around you, and for you. The old world, with its familiar fears and worn-out doubts, can no longer contain the magnitude of your spirit. You have outgrown the stories others wrote for you. Now, it is time to step out of the shadows and into the light of your true identity. Destiny is not waiting at a distance, it is standing at your door, knocking with an urgency that cannot be ignored. This is the moment you claim your crown. Let this truth settle in your bones. You are not just a product of circumstance or luck. You are the embodiment of answered prayers, living proof that divine favor finds those willing to rise. Everything that once felt like a setback was secretly a setup for this very moment. The universe has aligned circumstances, people, and timing so that nothing stands between you and the life you were born to live, except, perhaps, your own hesitation. But that ends now. Let today mark a new chapter. Release the old doubts, the need for external validation, and the impulse to play small. Stand tall, shoulders back, and let your energy proclaim, I am here. I am chosen. I am crowned by divine right. The world needs your courage. It needs your vision and your unique frequency. There are lives waiting to be changed. Doors ready to open. Miracles prepared to manifest, all waiting on your yes. SoulScripture speaks this affirmation over you now. I am aligned with divine timing and sacred purpose. Every challenge has refined me. Every fear has made me bold. I am chosen, and I choose myself fully, completely, without apology. I claim my crown, my calling, my miracle. Breathe that in. Let it echo in every cell. Divine confirmation. The heavens are shifting in your favor. Angels are on assignment, moving obstacles, drawing in support, and clearing your path. The energy you feel is not random. It's the evidence of alignment. The signs, the synchronicities, the inner fire, they are all confirmations that you are on the right path. Listen, your name is being whispered in rooms you've never entered. Blessings are tracking you down. The kingdom within you is awakening, and the world will not be able to ignore what is rising. This is your moment of divine validation. The universe is cheering for your breakthrough. Now is not the time to hesitate. Now is the moment to act. Make the call. Take the leap. Write the page. Speak the truth. Open your heart. Let the shift complete itself. Do not look back. The old you has served its purpose. But your crown awaits in the light ahead. And as a final twist, know this: the power you unleash now is only the beginning. There is a greater revelation coming, a higher level of impact, a miracle so vast, even you will stand in awe. Stay ready. Stay aligned. The next chapter of your destiny is about to unfold in ways you cannot yet imagine. You are crowned. You are chosen. The world is about to see what happens when the unstoppable rise